Now on Coast TV News.
Coffee and a donut, Dunkin' eyeing Milton for their next location. We'll take you through tonight's zoning meeting.
Paving the way, or at least the avenue, Rehoboth Beach is going to be able to move forward with a project that was initially halted this month.
Property tax reassessment. We have an update on when you can expect to start getting those letters in the mail that are going to tell you what you owe.
Blood drive. Have you seen this little pod over by the Tanger outlets? How this state-of-the-art mobile blood unit is helping hurricane victims.
And the temperatures keep falling down into the 40s for this evening. We'll talk more about that and just how cold will stay coming up.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
A tasty proposition. The Planning and Zoning Commission in Milton hearing from Dunkin' Donuts on Tuesday. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Christina DiRobertis. Welcome to Coast TV News at 11. We begin tonight in Milton.
The Town Planning and Zoning Commission was pitched a plan for a new Dunkin' Donuts location at their meeting Tuesday night. It would be the first one in the town of Milton. And
as Coast TV News reporter Brendan Conroy shows us, it could change up the vibe in town.
America runs on Dunkin', and now the question is, will Milton?
Basically what we're here to propose or to show you is our concept plans for a new Dunkin' Donuts store.
A concept plan for a new Dunkin' location was pitched to the Milton Planning and Zoning Commission meeting Tuesday. The new site is located at 403 Broadkill Road near Cypress Grove, and Dunkin' representative Andy Warfield is making his case.
We're a local franchise. We're out of Ocean City, so we have most of the stores on the Eastern Shore. Milton's always kind of been on our list of places to get to. It's really growing. Seems like a good town. We just want to add to that.
One part of the plan that has been revealed so far is a drive-through.
We're a quick process. You get in, get out, get to work, get to school, wherever you're going.
Jonathan Downing lives in Milton, and he is on board with the idea.
I think that's a good idea. I think Milton need to put a couple more little businesses in, instead of a bunch of housing, give people other places to go.
An early version of the Dunkin' plan was approved Tuesday, but don't expect to be dipping your pastries just yet. Next stop, review by the full town council for further consideration. If this project ultimately does get the green light, it will join the new McDonald's, which is currently under construction, as a new addition to a place known more for its old-fashioned feel.
As the plan for this new Dunkin' location is still in its very early stages, it might be some time before this whole plan comes to life. But when it does, we might see some mixed opinions from the public. In Milton, Brendan Conroy, Coast TV News.
Some more area development in another Delmarva city. The Overfall Preserve off Savannah Road in Lewis was discussed in front of the Lewis Planning Commission on Tuesday. Formerly known as the Warrington property, city documents show if approved, the land would hold 90 townhouses with a pool and connection to the bike trail. John Ronald Garner lives right next to the property and is part of the Warrington family.
I'm not happy about the building going up around Sussex County, and I always said if I had anything to do with this property, it wouldn't be single-family housing, you know, but it didn't work out that way. Open space, I like open space.
No official action was taken at tonight's meeting, but they are still accepting public comment online if you have some thoughts about the project that you would like to send to the committee. And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know what type of housing is needed most on the coast. Let's take a look at the updated results from earlier this evening.
And so far, most people, 73%, saying no more housing is needed. 20% saying affordable homes, 1% single-family homes, some saying senior housing and townhouses.
But that is pretty definitive, 73% there. Now, if you want to vote on this, you can at coasttv.com or use the Coast TV mobile app. We'll show you updated results online.
Well, if you've been anxiously awaiting your property reassessment results in Sussex County, listen up. The county is providing an update on the project. Tentative property assessments will start going out to homeowners starting mid-November. County officials are urging everyone to review theirs carefully and to contact Tyler Technologies if something seems off. Now, this is a complicated story we've been covering for months, so if you're looking for some more information about the reassessment process, head to coasttv.com.
We want to preface this next story by telling you there were no injuries. Important to know that right off the top. But the Lewis Volunteer Fire Company responded to a crash involving a school bus earlier this morning. It happened at the corner of Savannah Road and Westcoats Road. First responders were called out just after 3 a.m. Again, Lewis fire officials tell us there were no injuries. Delaware State Police are investigating what caused the crash.
New tonight, Delaware State Police arrested a Maryland man after a wild scene in Rehoboth Beach Sunday night. According to troopers, Kevin Graves, a 39-year-old man, was pulled over on Coastal Highway for speeding without headlights. But he took off during the stop, and police say he then crashed into 4 cars at a red light near Miller Road. He tried to run away but was found nearby and taken into custody after resisting arrest. An 18-year-old woman from Georgetown was treated for non-life-threatening injuries, and Graves is now facing multiple charges, including reckless driving.
After being paused last minute earlier this month, city officials say the long-awaited Rehoboth Avenue repaving project, it's back on. The repaving work on the main strip of road in downtown's area was originally paused due to DelDOT budget cuts, but that city says that crews are going to work on milling and paving this fall. It won't actually start, though, until after Sea Witch festivals at the end of the month. The DelDOT contractor, Adel, currently is working on curbing and concrete work on medians along Rehoboth Avenue.
And we're going to take a live look outside now into Lewis. Our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams will join us now with a look at the weather. Hi, Paul.
Hello, Christina. And overall, we're just feeling cold all over the place. I mean, all over the place. But we have a weird, wacky thing happening as we go into next week, but we got to get there first, right? Our Gateway Subaru camera in Ocean City, we're holding at 51 degrees and we'll drop down to 47 in Ocean City. Now, it's cooler in other locations. In fact, look, it's 44 in Milton right now. It's 47 in Georgetown, 44 Seaford, and 41 right now as we speak in Delmar. Overall, we're looking at 10 degrees cooler in Salisbury than we were just 24 hours ago. We're about 6 degrees cooler in Ocean City. Now, we do have breezy conditions throughout the Chesapeake Bay area for right now, but really the big story is how dry we've been. Dangerously dry. We have fire weather concerns for us, and we've had that concerns really throughout the evening time with winds gusting up to 20 miles per hour. So the relative humidity is about 30 to 35%. And as you take a look at the dew point temperatures, they're in the 30s. That's dangerously low when you consider all the winds. And then take a look at the lack of rain that we're expecting over the next few days. So dry, parched conditions, Christina, that's going to be a problem.
All right. Thanks, Paul. And Delaware is now under a burn ban. This is due to the entire state being extremely dry, as Paul mentioned, causing a fire hazard. The burn ban prohibits bonfires, fires for land cleanings, agricultural burning, and outdoor rubbish fires. And according to the state fire marshal, there will be criminal penalties if people violate this burn ban. And it's full steam ahead for Georgia voting. Some conservative activists in the critical battleground state tried to make the case that county officials had the legal right to reject results based on a suspicion of fraud or abuse, but a state judge has ruled that those local officials in Georgia cannot delay or decline to certify election results.
And as Cheryl Hubbard reports, in its first day of early voting, Georgia is shattering its record for early voting turnout with more than 250,000 ballots cast. That's according to state election officials.
In some parts of Georgia, the long lines formed before daybreak. In Canton, Georgia, this line of cars seemed to stretch as far as the eye could see. Beginning Tuesday, voters were able to head to the ballot box in the state, and show up they did, en masse.
This election affects the whole country and also the world. So get up and get out there and vote.
Georgia, a swing state, plays a crucial role in who will take the White House in November's tightly contested presidential election between former President Donald Trump.
Well, we have to beat her. Look, we
do.
have to beat her. She's not for this job.
And Vice President Kamala Harris.
Donald Trump is increasingly unstable and unhinged.
According to Georgia state election officials, votes cast exceeded 250,000 by late afternoon. Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger laid out his goal for this election cycle.
It's going to be free, it's going to be fair, and it's going to be fast. And we think that's really important.
In the razor-thin 2020 presidential race, a statewide audit had to be performed to debunk claims of widespread election fraud or irregularities. This year, some constituents say they're doing their parts to ensure that they are counted.
Last time I waited, line going around the block, around the corner. Now I'm getting my vote in today.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Another critical battleground state, North Carolina, kicks off early in-person voting on Thursday. Officials in that state have been scrambling to ensure residents are still able to cast a ballot, as that state is still trying to recover from the impacts of Hurricane Helene.
If you've driven past the Tanger outlets, you may have seen this red box sitting in the parking lot. It's a site, or the state-of-the-art portable blood donation station. The Blood Bank of Delmarva is partnering with the Tanger outlets to collect donations for hurricane relief. That's happening right now, all the way through October 24th. The Blood Bank of Delmarva has issued an urgent appeal for donations that ensure that those hard-hit areas of the country are covered. According to the American Red Cross, someone needs blood every 2 seconds in America, and a single donation can save more than one life. And blood not the only thing running low. The Biden administration has invoked the wartime powers of the Defense Production Act to help with the nation's shortage of critical IV fluids. Baxter International's North Cove production site in Marion, North Carolina, is the largest manufacturer of intravenous fluids in the entire country. Operations at the site were severely affected by Hurricane Helene when storms swept through the area last month. And while distribution of supplies has resumed, there are still significant restrictions on the amount that can be ordered. The invoking of the defense production will now give Baxter priority access to materials that it needs to get back to full production levels.
New information tonight on the passing of former Lewis Mayor Ted Becker. There will be a service and celebration of life on October 26th. We now know the ceremony will be at 11 a.m. at the Lewis Canal Front Park, and Becker's burial this week will be private.
We are just getting going here this evening.
Coming up, donations make a difference, a community effort on the coast to help hurricane victims.
And why Americans are more worried about credit card payments than they have been in years.
And it looks like we're going to have increasing temperatures by the end of the week, but we're going to have to get there first. We're looking at a bunch of sunshine by Friday. Same holds true for us in Crisfield. We'll have, well, let's just say an optimistic forecast coming up in about 60 seconds.
You don't know how much pressure you put on your septic system, but Rid-X does. In a 21-month study, scientists proved that Rid-X reduces up to 20% of waste buildup every month. Take the pressure off with Rid-X.
This is my legacy.
A legacy is earned, built on years of trust and reliability. To build the best vehicles with the best value. Right now, get a Tundra with low 3.99% APR.
This is my legacy.
Toyota, let's go places.
Get the Coast TV News app, the latest and most up-to-date stories for your coastal community. Coastal news customized to your needs. Download the Coast TV News app on your Apple or Android devices. Coast TV, our community, your news.
It's more than just chilly outside. It is bona fide cold, at least at my book, and my book is on page COLD. I know that's a joke. I know that's not actually a page number. Somebody always catches me on technicalities. But our tidal health camera in Salisbury is reflecting just how clear and how chilly or / cold we really are. And we'll turn the page to much warmer weather, but we'll have to wait till next week for that chapter. Right now, we are in the 40s right now, partly cloudy skies. And when you kind of look at things from a statistical or climatological standpoint, we're about 66 for the high today. That was 4 shy of where we should be. 41 for the low. It wasn't record-breaking, but the record of 30, actually, that was set in 1979. We're in the 40s right now. I mean, It's just cold. 41 in Del Mar, 41 in Reddit. That actually has dropped since we've been on the air, actually. It's 49 in Rehoboth Beach and Bethany Beach, and it's usually warmer along the beach than it is inland, so that tells you just how cold we really are. Temperatures are in the 40s. Then you throw in the winds, right? But at least it's breezier to the south towards Chincoteague, but it's staying breezy throughout the entire Chesapeake Bay area. But generally speaking, we have a bit of a trough to our north. As it begins to fall from the north to the south, it doesn't look like it's going to provide much of an opportunity for rain, and we could use a little rain because we've been so parched as of late. The winds are out of the west, turning out of the west and the northwest. And then as you take a look at our future rains, winds, we're looking for the winds to come out of the northwest at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. And with the winds coming out of the north, there's two problems. It's drier and it's colder. And it's this week where we don't need any more drier or colder air in place, being that it's so parched now. So we're going to be in the 40s for tonight, partly to mostly clear skies with winds out of the northwest. For the next 5 days in a row, okay, here's what we're doing. This is kind of like a Where's Waldo game. Where's the green at in each one of these maps besides the labels that I put down here? There is none. That's indicating just how dry we're going to be. From Wednesday till Sunday, not a chance. So let's take a wider view of this. What's down the line? Well, this brown here, this is normal. Gray is normal. That's over in Chicago, St. Louis. Then it becomes abnormally dry and then very dry for the East Coast, and we're in the midst of that. So when you take a look at our future cast, you see how we see a few clouds dancing here and there, but nothing's really changing because the cold is staying in place, the dry air is staying in place, and the uncomfortable feel stays in place till we get to maybe Friday. See, on a 3-day beach forecast, we start seeing temperatures in the 60s and we see sunshine. We warm up a little bit for Fenwick Island, Ocean City, for example. And we're looking for that warmth to kick in for us for Rehoboth Beach and Lewis. So then we recheck it with a different stat. What about the temperature? Above normal temperature is actually this color over here. And you see that warm color is overtaking the entire East Coast, but that's for next week. For right now, we stay dry, we stay cold. For tomorrow, we stay dry, we stay cold. For Thursday, burr, okay? Finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodel Extended Forecast. Good news is, by the weekend, we warm up and we stay warm, but next week.
Thank you, Paul. In regional news, let's head over to Cambridge, where construction along Route 50 has moved from nighttime work to daytime work, and that has some people gripping the steering wheel a little bit tighter. From the Frederick C. Malchus Bridge to Bucktown Road, Maryland State Highway is resurfacing both east and westbound lanes of Route 50. But yesterday, as I was saying, the hours of work shifted. They don't do that just to mess with drivers or inconvenience your commute. Officials say it's because the paving materials are temperature sensitive and cold temperatures below 50 degrees don't allow it to set. Still, it's been a hassle for drivers and frustrations are leaking out.
It's so busy during the day, especially around from 11 to 1, the traffic is bad anyway, and then with the workers doing their construction work, it makes it even worse. Tempers fly and people get angry because they telling them direct them in one way and they going the other way and they really get angry.
Maryland State Highway estimates the resurfacing project to be completed before the end of November. Single lane traffic begins at 7 a.m. there in that part of Dorchester County.
People in the Treasure Beach campground near Fenwick Island were sifting through donations today, all going here, places hit hard by Hurricane Helene. Over the past week, clothing, cleaning supplies, food, and other items were all boxed up and shipped to areas around where Hurricane Helene hit. One volunteer was touched to see the community step up.
The whole community actually has stepped up here to really donate a lot to the flood victims. So we all want to work together to help the people that need help right now.
Batteries, headlamps, and caution tape are some of the supplies still needed. And to learn how you can help, visit CoastTV.com.
A reminder for the return of Draper Media's Bless Our Children campaign. We support charities that handpick families in need, and they ensure every child gets a gift to open Christmas morning. Excuse me there. Right now, we're looking for those charities. We're accepting applications from those nonprofits through October 18th. Still to come, big news on gun rights for young adults, what the Supreme Court decided Tuesday.
And Walgreens in retreat, why over 1,000 stores are expected to close up shop.
Johnny Janosik's multi-million-dollar inventory sell-off is back. Right now, save up to 70% on leather, upholstery, bedrooms, dining rooms, and more. Plus, 0% APR for 24 months. It's all going on now at Johnny Janasik.
The internet is buffering again.
Are you trying to ruin my social life?
I should probably just drop out of school.
There's no Wi-Fi in the basement.
It's dead zone. Spoiler alert. Everything glitches. Lousy internet. It's all your fault.
Can't escape the horrors of internet drama? Switch to Extreme and live in peace with an always-on, always-fast connection. Get Internet 250 and advanced Wi-Fi for $19.99 a month for a year.
Join us for the Top 50 sales drive going on right now at Preston Ford. With over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles on the lot, we're sure to have the perfect vehicle for you. Save big with 2024 models such as Escape, Mavericks, and Bronco Sports, all with options starting under $30,000. Check out the entire selection at PrestonFord.com. Purchase a Ford online and we'll deliver it to your driveway. But hurry in as the inventory moves fast during our race to the top 50 in the nation. And remember, cars cost less in Preston.
In Maryland, we live closer to the halls of the Senate than anywhere in America. But often, it feels they're on another planet. Because when it comes to what's impacting your life, Washington's nowhere to be found. We can take on corporate price gouging, causing prices to skyrocket, expand access to affordable prescription drugs, keep our neighborhoods safe, and protect your hard-earned retirement. I'm Angela Also Brooks, and I'll be a senator focused on you. That's why I approve this message.
Find your better night's sleep for less at Johnny Janasik. Shop now and get a $300 MasterCard reward card on select brand purchases. And we'll haul away your old mattress for free for a limited time only at Johnny Janasik's Mattress World.
Coast TV First Alert Weather. Your safety, our commitment. This is Coast TV News at 11.
A new study found Americans haven't been this worried about making their minimum credit card payment since the pandemic. The information comes from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Its September survey showed the average perceived probability of missing a minimum debt payment during the next 3 months was more than 14%. That's the highest reading since April 2020, and outside of the pandemic, it's the highest delinquency expectation reading since January 2017, and it's the fourth monthly increase in a row.
New at 11, on Tuesday, the Supreme Court overturned a lower court ruling from Pennsylvania that allowed residents under 21 to carry firearms in public in some situations. The justices declined to hear arguments in the case for now. Rulings addressed a state law that barred 18 to 20-year-olds from openly carrying firearms during declared states of emergency. A federal appeals court previously ruled that the law violated the Second Amendment. The Supreme Court's Tuesday ruling overturned the appeals court decision, and it leaves that law in place for now.
New today, Walgreens announced it's closing about 1,200 locations, including 500 over the next year. The closures represent a significant escalation from a few months ago. That's when the financially struggling drugstore chain announced it was shutting down 300 underperforming locations as part of a multi-year optimization program.
Coming up in sports, a henloping battle in field hockey. Indian River taking on Milford.
And youngest man on campus. This bow tie sporting student is just 14, but he's already a full-time college student.
And of course, every student of the game knows how to putt in the cold. If not, they'll be holding class tomorrow because it'll be breezy and November-like chill and 60 for the high. That's the high, not the low, by the way.
Download the free Coast TV First Alert Weather app today.
When my husband got sick, he needed full-time care, but I couldn't afford to be there for him.
Workers in Delaware were forced to choose between their paychecks and their families. It was wrong.
Sarah knew we had to fix this, so she met with everyone and listened. Sarah brought Democrats and Republicans together.
Being able to care for a sick child or partner without losing your pay, that's going to help a lot of people.
I'm Sarah McBride. I approve this message because bringing people together is how to get things done.
Growing plants is hard, but my plant at Grandma's house is magic. Whoa! It grows all kinds of yummy stuff. I don't know how it does it. Grandma, it even grew ranch dressing.
Wow. You're always there for them, and we're always here for you. Food Lion, here for every moment.
It's the perfect time to upgrade your home's comfort with Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning.
Now through December 7th, get up to $2,200 with Carrier's Cool Cash Instant Rebate on qualifying systems. That's right, big savings on a brand new, energy-efficient heating system. You may also be eligible for a federal tax credit up to $2,000 with a qualified system.
Get it done now and stay warm all winter long. Call Coastal Comfort or visit coastalcomfort.com, a Carrier factory authorized dealer serving Maryland and Delaware. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Get ready, Delmarva. Excitement and incredible savings have arrived at Gateway Subaru. Save up to $3,200 on a new 2025 Subaru Outback with financing rates as low as 1.9% for 48 months. Or save up to $2,300 off a new 2024 Subaru Crosstrek with financing rates as low as 1.9% for 48 months. And be among the first to drive the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. Stop in and reserve yours today. Gateway Subaru, just minutes from the beaches in the heart of Delmarva. Higher standards.
Here at the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division, such as myself in countertops, to not only ensure you get the best product to fit your needs, but that your selection fits seamlessly with every element of your project.
When I came into the Delmarva Design Center and see that big collection of slabs, that makes really the decision seamless.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
In Georgetown, an activity center for Spanish-speaking senior citizens is coming to the Cheer Community Center. The grand opening of Cafe Salud took place Tuesday afternoon. The special event kicked off with a speech from the volunteer director welcoming everybody in.
Age is just a number. Just ask 14-year-old Wes Muhammad, who is now the youngest freshman at Coppin State University in Maryland. Brianna Ross has the details.
While most 14-year-olds walk the halls for their first year of high school, 14-year-old Wes Muhammad walks Coppin State University's campus for his first year of college.
I've always wanted to go to college and be on campus, have that experience that I've seen on TV and read in books.
But Wes never imagined he'd be studying cybersecurity engineering at Coppin State University on a full scholarship before he's even old enough to drive.
I was a little bit nervous because although I was ready to come to school and, just go through, it was, I would say, a little interesting. Like, people would come up to me and ask, how did you get here? Things like that. So I started realizing that this is rare.
It's not just rare. It's the first time Coppin has seen a 14-year-old freshman in school history. But West has always been ahead of the curve. His mom taught him to read by the time he was 3. He started first grade by the time he was 4, attending private schools, homeschooling, and public schools throughout his educational journey.
Even at school, I used to remember I was the youngest out of my friend groups. And sometimes the shortest, they would say.
But that hasn't stopped Wes before, and it's not stopping him now. He's not staying in the dorms on campus, but he is studying hard, already acing exams.
All hundreds.
And impressing teachers and school staff. But Wes says it's not about that, or being the first 14-year-old freshman.
For me, it's not so much as making history that's important, but it's really just giving an example to the other young 13-year-olds out there, 14s, or even 15-year-olds that are aspiring to do these certain things. So maybe if they aren't trying to go to college, but they may want to start their own business, it's just great giving that example to them.
So he won't be the last 14-year-old freshman to walk Coppin State University's campus.
Marva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening, sports fans. In Bayside South boys soccer, James M. Bennett looking to stay undefeated. The Clippers visiting Stephen Decatur, who came in at 8-2-1 on the season. Noah Blankensop breaks through the defense, cuts back for the shot, and puts the Clippers on the board first. 4 minutes later, Nick Kadira all alone, and he finds the opposite side of the net. Bennett ahead by 2. Less than 10 seconds later, a Seahawk lays a beautiful pass to Elijah Assett, who gets a foot on it before the defense and goalie burying the shot. Decatur's first goal of the game. Bennett goes on to win 5-2 to a big upset in Henlopen girls field hockey. Windy day up at Milford High School. Bucks coming in at 5-4, hosting 8-3 Indian River first quarter. Corner for the Indians, insert to Bailey Williamson. Up top, good pursuit for the Lady Bucks defense. We're still scoreless in this game. It would stay knotted up until the third. Milford's turn on the corner. Look at the nifty moves from Hannah Zimmerman. The assist to Isabel Betts for the goal. Milford strikes first at home. It's 1-0 Buccaneers. To the fourth quarter, Bailey Matson, maneuvering her way into the circle, forces the ball to Zimmerman. IR goalie Jasmine Mayfield lays to swipe it right to Milford's Jordan Casper. Unbelievable play all around. It's 2-0. A couple minutes later, Bucks still in command. It's a family affair at the home of Milford. Bailey Matson's shot denied, but there's the sophomore Molly Matson to clean it up. Milford blanks IR 5-0 to snap a 3-game skid. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
Up next, History and Heart, a new book about the city of Lewis, dives into the past.
Download the Coast TV News app on your Apple or Android devices.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
We know Angela Alsobrooks got caught taking illegal tax breaks, owing $59,000 in back taxes.
And she's now getting a deal. No penalties and a 25% reduction in interest.
Now the New York Times reports Alsobrooks lied on official mortgage documents, and Alsobrooks was sued twice for not paying her bills. Thousands in water, sewer, and other expenses. What scandal will they report next? Maryland's Future is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry-first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation, where we bring the showroom to you.
In 1925, a simple bank ledger began journaling the transactions of life in Willards, Maryland. New houses, barns, and farm equipment. Growing families and businesses both big and small. A record through time of hardship and prosperity. 100 years ago, the founding of the Farmers Bank of Willards was vital to the town. 100 years later, banking has changed, but the Farmers Bank remains steadfast in its original mission, keeping and reinvesting millions of dollars right here for the benefit of our communities.
I voted for Larry Hogan when he ran for governor.
I did twice. But Larry Hogan for Senate? I can't do that.
Because Larry Hogan would give Republicans control of the Senate.
Republicans could pass a national abortion ban.
More tax cuts for big corporations.
Republicans would have the power to name justices to the Supreme Court.
I don't want Republicans to have control.
I voted for Larry Hogan before, but no way this time.
I'm Angela Alsobrooks, and I approve this message.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
A new book titled The First Settler of Lewis has been published by the History Press, chronicling 360 years of Lewis, of the history through the stories of three families who owned the 4th Street Preserve. Proceeds from the book will support a campaign by the Greater Lewis Foundation to purchase and protect the 30 undeveloped acres of the 4th Street Forest, which you can see on your screen.
All right, we'll go to Salisbury, our Spicer Brothers camera at 43 degrees actually, and we'll drop down, and we'll stay in the 40s with partly cloudy skies in Salisbury. It won't be like that everywhere. Other places are a little cooler than that. By the way, our Umbrella giveaway winner is Kevin Robinson of Milford. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. Now, we still have somewhat gusty winds for the most southern portions of our Delmarva Peninsula. Small craft advisory still active throughout the Chesapeake Bay area. But if you want to keep up with your forecast, you can give us a call. My grandson says the phone is not this way, not this way. Apparently, I told my age by doing the phone that way. But anyway, call on your phone at 443-880-9100. Sponsored by the law offices of Baird, Mandalas, Buckstead, and Federico. And here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11.
For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
And we'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.